As a reminder, this call is being recorded, per usual, so that we can post it later on YouTube. I am in the middle of a DSC Resource Kit release today at the same time. So there are 15 modules going out today, which is a lot, which is good. It's great. So today going out is X ADCS deployment, X certificate, X computer management, X exchange, X Hyper-V, X networking, X PowerShell execution policy, X remote desktop session host, X storage, X system security, X time zone, Office online server DSC, security policy DSC, SharePoint DSC, and system locale DSC. And then also, I'm going to be releasing a new minor version of X SQL Server because last week we released the newly renamed SQL Server DSC. So that minor version will just contain an extra note saying that that module is now deprecated, and for any further updates, people should go use SQL Server DSC. That was actually a recommendation by the PowerShell Gallery team. Originally, we were thinking we could just change the description or the release notes in the PowerShell Gallery to say, hey, go over to this other module now. But apparently that creates a mismatch between the metadata in the gallery and the actual module you download, which produces a warning with the hash and security. And so they recommended we just put out another minor version with the extra notes. So we're going to go with that instead. Then, so if any of the other modules, if any of you guys want to start updating them from their X names to a resource module DSC name, we can just follow the flow of kind of how X SQL Server has gone, because I think that's gone pretty well so far. That's it for me. Yep, in the new year, got to update all the resources. Michael, did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, but since Johan's not on,
you're cutting out. I can't hear you.
I can just exchange notes with him over the GitHub comments. With Johan, basically to add support for clustering inside of Azure VMs. It's the architecture is a little bit different, so I'm looking at adding some additional resources. But I can discuss in the comments. There's a couple of issues related to it already for that X failover clustering repo, so I can continue the conversation there.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to bring up?
I guess I'll add one more thing. So I can do the PR to DSC, which is a WSUS management module, anytime. It's been done for quite a while. It's just sitting in my account in GitHub instead of the PowerShell org account. And so my question for the community is, how would we like to go about listing that? Like if we want to represent modules where the maintainer keeps it in their own account, how best could we represent that into the /DSC resource repo?
Yeah, we can barely hear you. Your words are coming through very slowly. Oh, it looks like he's been dropped from the call. I think what he's asking though is, so he has a new module for WSUS that we're no longer accepting new modules into the DSC Resource Kit. So no new resource modules under the PowerShell org umbrella. So Michael is willing to publish that module himself and keep it under his GitHub account. But there was discussion previously that we should have a list or something of like resource modules that the PowerShell org doesn't own but are still out there, like DSC resource modules. So what would be the best way to do that?
So Katie, it's Nick. Just a quick question. So how would that work actually? So it would be maintained under our own repository in GitHub, but would it be published in Gallery under the PowerShell team, or would it be under our own account in the PowerShell Gallery as well?
No, it would be under your own account in the PowerShell Gallery as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because our system, we've discovered, isn't very scalable, and we've already had to bring in outside maintainers to maintain a lot of our repos, and now we just release. And it goes a lot more smoothly if kind of the same team or the same org can review and release and do it all, and then just own it in the PowerShell gallery, and then just own the whole process rather than us having to come in the middle and review everything, which takes a really long time. And generally people are just waiting around getting frustrated, which we don't want. So.
Yeah, okay, it makes sense. And then that would be, I guess, Go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
Oh, I can't hear him.
I was going to say, so then would that mean the end of the resource kit waves? Would it be everyone maintaining their own module, or would you continue to publish whatever's under the PowerShell umbrella to the gallery every 6 weeks?
I have no plans to stop publishing what's already under the PowerShell org umbrella. So there's no plans to stop that. I'll still keep doing that every 6 weeks. We have a community call, and then a week after that we have the release of everything that's already under the PowerShell org and is released by the PowerShell team in the gallery. So there's no current plans to get rid of any of that. It's just anything additional can't come from us.
Excellent, thanks.
Yes, so from my perspective, my first thought jumped to the contributors file that that is currently in the master repo, and that would also, well, it gives us a good point to provide a list. I did mention on a call a couple of calls ago around exclusive use of the like the DSC Resource Kit tag in the PowerShell gallery. Do you know if that was followed up at all?
I know the gallery doesn't have any kind of unique tags right now, so they have no validation on any of those.
Yeah, so
they don't. As far as I know, they don't have current plans to add that feature. So I don't think we could utilize it. It would be nice.
Yeah, it was just my concern was that I believe that even at the moment, that if you, I think on some of the Microsoft documentation, it says to go get the full resource kit, go search for this tag in the PowerShell gallery, but that already actually pulls back a bunch of other modules that aren't necessarily part of the official DSC resource kit. And having that ability to police who used even that one tag might be useful, because then you could say that if you're either you're part of the main PowerShell repo, or you are part of the accepted list, potentially stored in this other file as well, you're allowed to use this tag, and therefore to bring back the full set of approved modules, it's just this one line of find-modules.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, we can pass it on to the PowerShell gallery team. I just don't know when or if that would be ready.
Yeah.
So I think in the meantime,
I don't see it as
probably...
a blocker to anything, but it might be something to think about.
Yeah. That would be probably ideal, but
yeah.
In the
Katie,
meantime...
I just caught the tail end of that. Was that a request for custom tags?
Yeah, or no, having tags that only certain modules can have. So not allowing anybody to put whatever tag they want on any module.
Because at the moment, anyone can flag their module as part, or with the tag DSC Resource Kit, which I believe is actually the recommended way of getting the DSC Resource Kit in certain documentation.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can...
Today. We can set a lot of rules, but there's really no, like, we kind of look for the community to police that sort of thing. And I think to do a resource kit would be a very specific set of modules. But I'll tell you what, I'll submit a request and we'll think about like what we can come up with.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah, in the meantime, I think it's fine, like Dan said in the IM here, to put just a new markdown file in the DSC resources repo that has a list that links to the some helpful DSC resource modules that we've seen that the community has agreed are solid DSC resource modules. Anybody else? Any questions, concerns, or comments? I think
I've got something that I'd like to just ask you about, but that's kind of a separate discussion.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Hey, Katie. Hey, guys. Just one thing I was thinking, because I'll be renaming the, things like X networking and stuff to networking DSC. Mm-hmm. I'll copy the process that that Johan used and Michael Green, and maybe it would be worth documenting that process. I could chuck a document in DSC resources or somewhere that we can refer back to, because I think that I'm not sure if the process is, there's a number of steps or what. But I'll pick Johan's brain anyway and find out exactly what they did to get there.
Yeah, he pretty much just had me rename the repo first, and then he went in and I think renamed all the resources in the module manifest and everything. And then when he was done with that, he told me and I just released it. So.
Okay, so it was not as much to it as I thought. I just saw all the PRs coming through and I wasn't sure. So, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
So, Katie, there's issue 8 under the remote desktop session host repo is around the fact that there seems to have been a fork at some point as part of the RDS Quick Start template for Azure that includes a bunch of resources that don't exist in the official module.
Yeah, we actually, Michael emailed the team that owns that repo about this. Michael, did you ever get a response?
No, but I mean, part of that is because of the holidays, I'm sure, but that team does a lot of work very actively on the DSC resources that they maintain. So I'm going to keep after that. I think there's a chance that we can have a partnership there.
But do you know, can we pull those resources over into this module?
I can't think of any reason why not to, but I'll continue to pursue connecting with them and letting them know that that's the plan. And then if they can if they would like to become maintainers, at least an additional maintainer, that would be ideal. So I'll keep after that as well. But I mean, it's all open source, so worst case scenario, it's all MIT license. We could just make sure that we give them credit, by putting a note in the release notes. But otherwise, there's no reason we can't.
Lovely. So I've got a private repo on my laptop at the moment that has taken that stuff and kind of merged it into the existing repo as it stands today. And then I've also actually fixed a couple of other things. I need to get approval from my manager before I submit that in. But I'll seek to do that. And mention where I got all the source from at that point as well. Potentially put in a pull request, but I won't merge that until I've had kind of sign off from either of you two.
Okay. Yeah, make sure you tag me in it.
Yeah, will do.
Cool.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns?
I suppose the one final thing, sorry, is Daniel. I know that we've been kind of talking a bit about this language DSC and merging that into what it's currently X computer management. Rather than me renaming everything and then when it comes to moving to computer management DSC a second time, would you be happy that when you do when you basically do the conversion, that I kind of tack onto that and submit a PR to merge the language resources in as well?
Yeah, that sounds fine. That's what I thought you pretty much suspected that was going to happen. So I'll do the rename sort of early in the new year. I've just got one more fix up to get X scheduled task into HQRM, and then we can merge your one. And I think there was the question because your one has support for system, locale, time zone, and language, doesn't it?
It does, because it deals with the underlying language control panel icon, which basically uses an XML to fix all of those things, or just one or two of them, depending on what settings you set.
Cool. So, because the theory was we were going to bring system locale across in X time zone, but maybe if we've just got X language, we don't need to bring those across. Katie, do you have a thought on that one?
You're just combining them all under computer management?
Yeah, well, the thing is, if X language contains parameters for both, for setting the language, setting the locale, setting the time zone.
I'm not sure it does time zone, to be honest.
So we could just maybe ignore system locale, keep that separate, maybe even drop that one and just use X language going forward and move that into computer management.
Yeah, that's fine.
That'll be all right? Cool. And we just moved X time zone across into X computer management and drop that completely, deprecate that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's good with me. Leo, are you good with you, or you guys?
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. It's probably worth if we're moving kind of primary functionality onto the language DSC module. It's probably worth boosting the test coverage for those specific scenarios, but that shouldn't be a problem.
Yep, cool. Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Well, you and I can touch base in the new year about getting that done. It should be only a couple of weeks away, maximum.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
Yep. Anything else?
Cool. Hi, Katie. This is Andreas speaking from Germany.
Hello.
And I was working with DSC this week a lot, and I came across the MySQL resource.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that there's somehow a bit of lack of commitment in this resource, because there's one pull request that seems fairly good, still open from June, but nothing's going on.
We don't have a maintainer for that. repository, so there's no one who regularly checks it right now. It looks like that PR is failing tests, though. So
it is some formatting tests and stuff like that, but it's good to know that, or not so good to know that there's no maintainer at the moment for this repo, because this is, it somehow looks good in a way, but the examples don't work any longer. And so it's more or less useless with the current version of MySQL.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing I can do with that PR as long as tests are failing, because it looks like something in set target resource tests are failing too.
Okay, so
I can look at other PRs though. If you tag me with my username on GitHub, so @QuirkyCat, see it all over the resource kit, then I'll come and look at it if you tag me personally.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. It's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Cool.
That's it for me.
Sweet. Well, it looks like the release is over halfway done. So those 15 modules will be out soon, and I'll get the blog out as soon as I can. Thanks for joining the call, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.